Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Inside Edge. Today is Wednesday, March 5th. Governor Woodrow Wilson created the New Jersey Office of Weights and Measures back in 1911. He did it to protect consumers from unscrupulous people who profited by inaccurate scales. That today, this division measures everything from deli meats to gas pumps to gold bars. But in a very Jersey way, the positions created to make sure that the scales were accurate became prime political patronage jobs. Lots of people wanted to be weights and measures inspectors because of the opportunity for supplemental cash income. A modest gratuity for a scale inspector gave people from a small shop owner to a large trucking company, essentially gave people a license to overcharge with impunity. And this could mean big money in exchange for a relatively small gratuity. And leave it to Jersey to turn a well-intentioned reform into a patronage pit. In the early 60s, the Attorney General investigated complaints that weights and measures inspectors were doing surprise inspections at milk stores in Essex, Bergen, Passaic counties because they felt that the shop owners weren't being quite as generous as they should be. A weights and measures inspector in Bergen County was indicted. He went to prison because he was caught taking meat every week from a local butcher and then overlooking a rigged scale. And around 1972, it hit Trenton. A group of food producers got together and hired a lobbyist. This was in the early days of contract lobbying firms, and they tried to get legislation passed that would have been a game changer for them. They wanted to increase the margin of error from on a scale from 0.5% to 3%. At some point in the early 70s, the superintendent of weights and measures in Morris County was indicted on charges that he extorted groceries and cigarettes from a group of A&P supermarkets. And the investigations continue. Just last year, Matt Placken launched a probe into Whole Foods after he learned that some of the scales in Montclair led to customers allegedly getting ripped off. And while weights and measures remains largely tied to county governments until the 1980s, North Bergen had its very own. The Division of Consumer Affairs provides oversight. They have checks and balances in place to eliminate corruption among the weights and measures inspectors. And still, it's probably a good idea that the embattled Office of Public Integrity and Accountability isn't involved in this. That is it for today. I'm going to take a couple days off, so don't miss the Inside Edge with Joey Fox on Thursday and Friday, and I will be back on Monday morning.